This is lesson 434, the Great Schism of 1054. Now, we've already seen this. The Christian church became a very powerful institution in the Middle Ages, as we know, and had extensive control over politics and the lives of ordinary people. So here's an essential question. Why did the Christian church split into the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox denominations? Roman Christianity versus Byzantine Christianity. How were they similar? And we've seen this already because of its location close to Judea, the birthplace of Christianity. Most Byzantines had converted to Christianity before people in the Western Roman Empire did, and you can see the progress of that on this map of the Mediterranean. The division of Christianity. After the Roman Empire split into two halves, Christianity in the West developed differently from Christianity in the East due to the distance and the lack of contact between the two halves of the Roman Empire. All Christians, both in the East and in the West, based their faith on Jesus Christ and the Bible. However, there were many differences in Eastern and Western religious practices. Christianity was organized similarly in both halves of the empire. For example, bishops and archbishops oversaw regions where Christianity was practiced. Also, priests led individual churches in both East and West. However, Christians in the East and the West disagreed over the top leadership of the church. Christians in Western Europe believed that a leader called the Pope in Rome should be in charge of all church matters. Christians in Western Europe accepted this Pope as the top authority figure of the church. But the Eastern Christians believed that the Byzantine emperors in Constantinople had authority over all church matters, and these Byzantine emperors relied on a religious leader of their choosing called a patriarch to oversee church operations. But the emperors had final authority. The division of Christianity. So Byzantine Christians did not accept the authority of the Pope in Rome. Pope Francis in this picture on the left is the supreme head of the Roman Catholic Church. Patriarch Bartholomew I on the right, he heads the ancient church in Constantinople and gets highest honors, but he's not the supreme authority of all Eastern Orthodoxy. But the biggest controversy between Christians of the West and Christians of the East was over the use of these things called icons. And here's a picture of one. Icons were religious images, paintings, statues, reliefs, etc. And Christians in both the East and the West often kept such icons in front of them to help them focus their prayers and their worship. Some believers even attributed miracles and healings to their icons. However, many other Christians deeply distrusted the use of icons. Are people who use icons worshiping God, or are they crossing a line into worshiping the actual icons? And if they are crossing that line, then those icons have become idols, and that's idol worship, and that's against the second commandment. These were serious questions. In the East, around the year 729, the Byzantine Emperor Leo III decided that the use of icons in worship was a bad thing. So Leo III ordered the destruction of all icons in the Byzantine Empire. Riots broke out between people who wanted icons and iconoclasts, those who wanted to ban and destroy icons. And Leo III's own patriarch quit over the issue. The Pope in the West actually supported the use of icons, and he officially declared Leo III a heretic. A heretic is somebody who is guilty of religious error, either in belief or practice. The Pope then excommunicated Byzantine Emperor Leo III, in other words, formally banned him from the church, which led the Eastern Christians to ask, Who does this Western Pope think he is? Trying to kick our Eastern Emperor out of the church. What authority does he have over us? And disagreements over such things as icons and religious authority led to deep divisions between Eastern and Western Christians. Finally, the Great Schism, the Great Split, occurred in 1054 CE. Christians in Eastern Europe became the Eastern Orthodox Church. Christians in Western Europe became the Roman Catholic Church. And the two Christian churches went their separate ways forever. And Eastern Orthodox Christians still use icons in worship to this very day. Here are some additional differences and similarities between Roman Catholics and Eastern Orthodox Christians. Similarities, there are several. They both base their faith on the gospel of Jesus and the Bible. They both use sacraments such as baptism. Their religious leaders are priests and bishops, and they both seek to convert people to their faith. But on the Roman Catholic side, services are conducted in Latin. The Pope has authority over all other bishops. Pope claims authority over all kings and emperors. Priests may not marry, and divorce is not permitted. But on the Eastern Orthodox side, services are conducted in Greek or local languages. The patriarch and other bishops head the church as a group. And the emperor claims authority over the patriarch and other bishops of the empire. Priests may be married, and divorce is allowed under certain conditions. Now, this comparison that we're looking at here, this is from a historical perspective. Of course, Roman Catholic services are not always conducted in Latin anymore. And, of course, on the Eastern side, there is no more Byzantine emperor. So religion in Europe today, you have Catholic Christians, you have Protestant Christians, Eastern Orthodox Christians, you even have some Buddhist communities, Muslims, and Jews.